Number 1. The 1971 Ford Torino GT. In my opinion, the 1971 Ford Torino GT is one of the most overlooked muscle cars of its generation. It arrived during a period when styling became bolder, bodies grew larger, and horsepower ratings began to decline, yet the Torino still managed to preserve the aggressive personality that made Ford's performance cars so appealing throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s. This particular example is finished in a classic green exterior paired with a black interior, a combination that gives the car a tough, understated appearance. The long hood, muscular fenders, and fastback-inspired styling make the Torino GT instantly recognizable, and even today it has the kind of road presence that turns heads without needing loud graphics or flashy modifications. One of the most impressive details in this listing has nothing to do with horsepower or options. According to the seller, this Torino has remained in the same ownership for nearly 40 years. Personally, I always pay attention when I see a classic that's been cared for by one owner for such a long period of time. Cars that stay with the same family or owner for decades often receive consistent maintenance and tend to have a much more complete history than vehicles that change hands every few years. The seller also states that the Torino runs, drives, and stops exactly as it should. That may sound like a simple statement, but for a classic that's now more than 50 years old, those are some of the most important qualities a buyer can hope for. A vintage car that's mechanically sorted allows the next owner to enjoy it immediately rather than spending months chasing repairs before the first road trip. While the listing doesn't go into detail about the engine or recent restoration work, that simplicity almost adds to the car's appeal. Instead of focusing on flashy upgrades or custom modifications, the emphasis is placed on the Torino being a dependable, well-preserved classic that's been enjoyed for decades. In my opinion, there's something refreshing about that approach. Not every collector wants a heavily modified muscle car. Many simply want an honest example they can appreciate and drive. The odometer shows approximately 120,000 miles, but that number doesn't concern me as much as the overall condition and ownership history. A classic that's been regularly driven and properly maintained can often be a better purchase than one that spent decades sitting and used. Mechanical components are designed to be exercised, and long-term ownership usually indicates that the car has been cared for rather than neglected. At an asking price of $30,000, I believe this 1971 Ford Torino GT offers solid value for someone looking to own a genuine piece of Ford muscle car history. The combination of long-term ownership, reported roadworthy condition, clean title, and iconic early 1970s styling makes it a very attractive option. If I were searching for a Torino that could be enjoyed immediately while still retaining its classic character, this would definitely be one I'd want to inspect in person before making a final decision. Number 2. The 1965 Pontiac Lemans Convertible. In my opinion, the 1965 Pontiac Lemans is one of the most underrated American convertibles of the 1960s. It often lives in the shadow of the GTO, but the Lemans has its own personality, offering classic Pontiac styling, comfortable cruising, and a much more affordable entry point into vintage muscle-era ownership. For buyers who want a stylish convertible without spending a fortune, this one certainly deserves a closer look. Located in Danielsville, Georgia, this 1965 Pontiac Lemans convertible is listed for $15,500 and comes with a Georgia title in hand. The odometer shows approximately 125,000 miles, but according to the seller, the car still runs and drives well. Personally, I think that's one of the biggest selling points. A classic convertible that's ready to hit the road is often much more enjoyable than one that requires months of restoration before it can be driven. One feature that immediately caught my attention is the fact that the car still retains its original engine and transmission. In today's collector market, originality has become increasingly important, and many enthusiasts prefer vehicles that still have their factory drivetrain instead of engine swaps or heavily modified mechanical components. In my opinion, keeping the original powertrain gives the car more authenticity and preserves its connection to Pontiac's history. The seller doesn't provide an extensive list of upgrades or modifications, and honestly, I think that's part of this Lemans appeal. It appears to be an honest classic that hasn't been over-customized or altered beyond recognition. Sometimes, simplicity is exactly what makes a vintage car enjoyable to own, especially for someone who appreciates originality over excessive modifications. As a convertible, this Lemans offers everything people love about classic American cruising. With the top down, the V8 soundtrack, and the unmistakable styling of a mid-1960s Pontiac, it delivers an experience that modern cars simply can't duplicate. Personally, I believe convertibles from this era capture the spirit of American motoring better than almost anything else. Another thing I appreciate is the asking price. At $15,500, this lemans represents a relatively affordable opportunity compared to many other mid-1960s convertibles that continue to climb in value. While models like the GTO often command significantly higher prices, the lemans allows buyers to enjoy much of the same styling and heritage without stretching their budget quite as far. The seller describes it as a nice car for the price, and based on the information provided, that seems like a fair assessment. It's presented as a driver rather than a museum-quality showpiece, which means the next owner can actually enjoy taking it on weekend cruises, local car shows, or scenic back roads without worrying about preserving a flawless concours restoration. Overall, this 1965 Pontiac Lemans convertible appears to be a solid and honest classic featuring its original engine and transmission, dependable driving manners, and timeless Pontiac styling. In my opinion, it's an excellent option for anyone looking to enter the world of classic American convertibles with a vehicle that's affordable, enjoyable to drive, and increasingly appreciated by enthusiasts who recognize that the lemans has a character all its own. Number 3. This 1963 Chevrolet Impala SS captures everything enthusiasts love about the early 60s muscle era. It combines the elegant styling of Chevrolet's legendary Super Sport with a fresh high-performance drivetrain, creating a classic that's just as enjoyable to drive as it is to admire. Finished in bright red with a matching red interior, this Impala makes an immediate impression. The bold color combination perfectly complements the car's sweeping body lines, generous chrome trim, and unmistakable super sport styling. Even more than 60 years after it first debuted, the 1963 Impala remains one of Chevrolet's most iconic designs, and this example has the kind of visual presence that never goes unnoticed. Power comes from a 400 cubic inch small block Chevrolet V8, giving the car considerably more performance than it originally left the factory with. Small block engines of this size have long been popular because they offer an excellent combination of strong horsepower, impressive torque, and dependable reliability without adding excessive weight to the front of the car. Whether cruising around town or accelerating onto the highway, this setup should deliver the kind of lively performance that many classic car enthusiasts are looking for. Backing the V8 is a legendary Muncie 4-speed manual transmission, one of the most desirable gearboxes ever installed in an American muscle car. The seller notes that the entire drivetrain has accumulated fewer than 50 miles since being completed, meaning the engine and transmission are still essentially in their break-in period. That's a significant advantage because the next owner will be enjoying a nearly fresh mechanical package rather than inheriting years of wear and tear. According to the listing, the car itself shows only around 300 miles, while also being described as being in excellent condition for its age. Although the seller doesn't provide extensive restoration details, the fresh drivetrain strongly suggests that considerable attention has recently been invested in keeping the car both reliable and enjoyable to drive. Another nice bonus is the inclusion of additional chrome accessories that are still in their original boxes. Extra trim pieces like these can be surprisingly valuable, especially for collectors who enjoy adding factory-style finishing touches or preserving original components for future restoration work. What makes this Impala especially appealing is that it strikes a balance between classic appearance and upgraded performance. From the outside, it still looks every bit like the elegant early 60s cruiser that made the Impala famous, but underneath it offers a much more engaging driving experience thanks to its upgraded engine and 4-speed manual transmission. In my opinion, this is the kind of classic that appeals to a wide range of enthusiasts. Collectors will appreciate the timeless super sport styling, while drivers who actually enjoy putting miles on their classics will likely appreciate the fresh drivetrain and manual transmission even more. Cars like this allow you to experience vintage American motoring without feeling limited by outdated mechanical performance. At an asking price of $32,800, this 1963 Chevrolet Impala SS appears to offer solid value. Considering the cost of building a fresh 400 cubic inch small block, sourcing a desirable Muncie 4-speed, and maintaining a classic of this caliber, recreating a similar package today would likely require a significantly larger investment. For anyone looking for a beautifully styled Chevrolet that combines classic looks with modern drivability and plenty of V8 excitement, this Impala SS certainly deserves a closer look. Number 4. The 1966 Chevrolet Nova. The 1966 Chevrolet Nova is one of the true icons of the compact muscle car era. Its lightweight body, clean styling, and simple mechanical design have made it a favorite among enthusiasts for decades. Whether built as a comfortable weekend cruiser or a high-performance street machine, The second-generation Nova has always been known for delivering an exciting driving experience without unnecessary complexity. This particular Nova is finished in a vibrant orange exterior paired with a black interior, creating a timeless muscle car combination that immediately grabs attention. The bright paint highlights the Nova's clean body lines, while the black interior provides a sporty contrast that perfectly matches the car's aggressive personality. It's a classic design that still looks fresh more than half a century after it first rolled off the assembly line. Under the hood sits a Chevrolet 350 cubic inch small block V8 equipped with a mild performance camshaft. Rather than building an all-out race engine, the seller appears to have chosen a setup that balances performance with reliability. A mild cam typically provides a noticeable performance improvement and a slightly more aggressive exhaust note while maintaining smooth street manners. In my opinion, that's exactly the kind of combination many classic car owners appreciate because it keeps the car enjoyable for regular driving instead of limiting it to occasional weekend outings. Power is delivered through an automatic transmission, making this Nova easy to drive whether you're cruising through town, attending local car shows, or taking longer highway trips. The lightweight body combined with the proven small block V8 should provide plenty of responsive performance while remaining relatively simple and inexpensive to maintain. One of the most important details mentioned by the seller is the condition of the body. According to the listing, the frame and floor pans are completely free of rust. For a classic vehicle approaching 60 years of age, that's a major advantage. Rust repair is often one of the most expensive and time-consuming aspects of restoring vintage cars, so starting with a solid structure can save the next owner both money and frustration. The seller also describes the Nova as being in very good condition overall, suggesting that it has been well cared for throughout its life. Although the listing doesn't include an extensive list of modifications, sometimes simplicity is exactly what makes a classic car appealing. A solid body, a dependable V8, and a proven automatic transmission can be a much more enjoyable combination than an overly complicated build. Personally, what I like most about this Nova is that it appears to be an honest, straightforward muscle car. It doesn't rely on flashy modifications or extreme horsepower figures to make an impression. Instead, it focuses on the fundamentals: a rust-free body, a reliable 350 V8, and a classic appearance that has stood the test of time. Overall, I think this 1966 Chevrolet Nova represents an excellent opportunity for someone looking for a dependable American classic that's ready to enjoy. The rust-free frame, mild performance 350 engine, automatic transmission, and striking orange and black color combination make it an attractive package. At an asking price of $32,000, it looks like a solid choice for enthusiasts who want a clean, well-balanced Nova that delivers both classic style and enjoyable performance. Number 5. This 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Tribute. The 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle marked the beginning of a new era for Chevrolet's mid-size muscle car. While stricter emissions regulations were starting to reduce factory horsepower, many enthusiasts have since transformed these cars into serious performers, and this example is proof that the third-generation Chevelle still has plenty of muscle to offer. Located in Clarksville, Indiana, this SS Tribute is listed for $34,000 and combines classic styling with a drivetrain built for real-world performance. Finished in bright yellow, this Chevelle has the bold appearance you would expect from a classic American muscle car. While it's presented as an SS Tribute rather than a factory supersport, the overall look captures the aggressive personality of Chevrolet's legendary performance models without pretending to be something it isn't. That honesty is something many enthusiasts appreciate when shopping for tribute cars. The heart of this Chevelle is a rebuilt 454 cubic inch big block Chevrolet V8 that's been bored .030 inch over, giving it even more displacement and performance potential. Power is sent through the legendary Turbo 400 automatic transmission, backed by a 2,600 revolutions per minute stall converter that allows the engine to get into its power band more quickly during acceleration. Out back is a durable 3.42 ratio positraction rear axle, complemented by adjustable rear control arms that help improve traction and handling. According to the seller, the car underwent a body-on-frame restoration approximately 3 years ago and has accumulated only about 2,000 miles since the work was completed. Even more impressive, the original sheet metal, floor pans, and trunk floor have all been retained. Preserving those factory panels is becoming increasingly uncommon on cars of this age, making that an important selling point for prospective buyers. This Chevelle also appears to have been built with drivability in mind. The seller notes that it cruises comfortably at around 70 miles per hour while turning approximately 2,400 revolutions per minute, making it well suited for highway driving. Just as importantly, It's said to maintain normal operating temperatures even in traffic, something that's often a concern with modified big block muscle cars. One detail I really appreciate is the seller's honesty about the car's condition. Rather than trying to present it as a flawless showpiece, they openly explain that the underside isn't spotless because the car is driven regularly. To me, that's actually a positive. Classic cars are meant to be enjoyed on the road, and seeing one that's actively driven often says more about its reliability than one that spent years sitting in a climate-controlled garage. The seller is also willing to provide a video of the engine running, giving potential buyers an opportunity to hear the big block in action before making the trip to see it in person. They're even open to trading for a 1974 Camaro Z28 equipped with a manual transmission, suggesting they're another enthusiast rather than simply trying to flip the car. In my opinion, this Chevelle offers an appealing balance between classic muscle car looks and genuine usability. It doesn't claim to be a factory SS, but it delivers the performance, sound, and driving experience that many enthusiasts are really after. The combination of the 454 big block, turbo 400 transmission, and well-sorted drivetrain makes it feel like a car that was built to be enjoyed instead of simply admired from a distance. Overall, this 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle SS Tribute appears to be a solid, thoughtfully assembled muscle car with plenty of power and an honest presentation. With its original body panels, recent restoration, dependable road manners, and proven big block performance, it represents a compelling option for anyone looking to own a classic Chevrolet that's ready to hit the highway as confidently as it rolls into the next local cruise night. Number 6. The 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle. In my opinion, this 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle is the kind of muscle car that perfectly blends classic styling with serious street performance. It isn't presented as a factory original restoration, and honestly, I think that's part of its appeal. Instead, it has been built with performance in mind while still maintaining the unmistakable look that made the second-generation Chevelle one of the most iconic American muscle cars ever produced. Finished in a bold orange exterior with a black interior, this Chevelle has an aggressive appearance that immediately grabs your attention. The cowl induction-style hood, weld wheels, and wide drag radial tires give it a purposeful stance that hints there's far more under the hood than a stock small block. It's the type of car that looks just as comfortable parked at a local cruise night as it does making a pass down the drag strip. The biggest highlight is undoubtedly the engine. Power comes from a 383 cubic inch stroker V8, a combination that's well known for delivering excellent torque, strong acceleration, and dependable street performance. Matched with a turbo 350 automatic transmission and a Hurst shifter, this drivetrain is built for drivers who want both performance and reliability. The addition of a 12-bolt posi-traction rear axle with 3.73 gears provides excellent traction while giving the car quick acceleration without making it unpleasant for normal cruising. The seller also mentions an upgraded fuel system, suggesting that the engine has been properly supported to handle its increased performance. While the listing doesn't go into every detail of the build, it's clear that this isn't simply a cosmetic restoration. It appears to be a thoughtfully assembled street machine designed to be driven and enjoyed. Another feature that really stands out is the condition of the body. The seller describes the Chevelle as super straight and rust-free, and that's something I always consider one of the most valuable qualities in any classic muscle car. Mechanical upgrades are relatively easy to perform, but repairing major rust damage can become both expensive and time-consuming. Starting with a clean body gives the next owner a tremendous advantage. Inside, the car benefits from a completely new interior, which should make it feel much fresher than many classics of the same era. A well-finished interior not only improves comfort but also enhances the overall driving experience, especially if the car is intended for regular weekend cruising instead of sitting in storage. Personally, I think this Chevelle offers an excellent balance between performance and value. It has the aggressive looks enthusiasts expect, upgraded mechanical components, a rust-free body, and a drivetrain that's capable of delivering exciting performance without sacrificing everyday drivability. It doesn't try to be a museum-quality restoration. It embraces the spirit of a true street machine. At an asking price of $27,500, I believe this 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle represents a very attractive opportunity. Considering the cost of building a similar car today, with a 383-stroker engine, upgraded drivetrain, fresh interior, and rust-free body, it would likely require considerably more money. If I were looking for a classic muscle car that could be driven hard, enjoyed often, and still turn heads wherever it went, this Chevelle would definitely be near the top of my list. Number 7. The 1969 Chevrolet Malibu. In my opinion, this 1969 Chevrolet Malibu is an excellent example of a classic American cruiser that focuses on comfort, originality, and everyday drivability rather than extreme horsepower. While many Chevelles from this era have been transformed into big block muscle cars, this one has retained its balanced personality, making it an appealing choice for someone who simply wants to enjoy driving a genuine late 1960s Chevrolet. Located in Lebanon, Ohio, this Malibu is listed for $39,000 and shows approximately 76,000 miles. According to the seller, it has had only 2 owners, comes with a clean history, and has no significant damage or mechanical problems. Personally, I think a 2-owner classic is always worth paying attention to because it often indicates consistent care and responsible ownership over the years. Power comes from Chevrolet's dependable 307 cubic inch V8, paired with an automatic transmission. Although the original transmission has been upgraded to a rebuilt 700 R4 overdrive automatic, I actually see that as a major advantage. The 700 R4 provides an extra overdrive gear, allowing the engine to run at lower RPM on the highway. In my opinion, that's one of the best upgrades you can make to a classic cruiser because it improves highway comfort, fuel economy, and overall drivability without taking away the car's vintage character. The Malibu is also well equipped with several desirable factory-style comfort features, including power steering, power front disc brakes, air conditioning, and even cruise control. Those options were considered premium equipment in 1969, and they make a noticeable difference when driving the car today. Personally, I think having air conditioning and cruise control makes this Chevelle much more enjoyable for longer road trips or weekend cruises. According to the seller, both the body and frame are very solid, which is one of the most important factors when evaluating any classic vehicle. Structural integrity can save a future owner thousands of dollars in restoration costs, so hearing that the car has a solid foundation is definitely reassuring. The seller also mentions that the car has received new tires and a new exhaust system. Fresh tires improve both safety and ride quality, while a new exhaust helps ensure the small block V8 delivers the smooth sound and reliable performance that Chevrolet engines are known for. Cosmetically, the car was repainted once about 10 years ago, and the chrome and stainless trim are described as being in good condition. In my opinion, that's a very reasonable combination for a driver-quality classic. It suggests the Malibu has been cared for without trying to disguise its age, giving it a clean appearance that's suitable for local car shows, weekend drives, or simply enjoying on the open road. What I appreciate most about this car is its honest presentation. It isn't advertised as a race car or a heavily modified muscle machine. Instead, it offers a dependable V8, modern overdrive transmission, desirable comfort options, and a solid body, creating a package that's easy to own and enjoyable to drive. Overall, this 1969 Chevrolet Malibu appears to be a well-preserved classic featuring a reliable 307 V8, upgraded 700 R4 overdrive transmission, power steering, power disc brakes, air conditioning, cruise control, a solid body and frame, and tasteful maintenance throughout. In my opinion, it's an excellent choice for someone looking for a comfortable, dependable, and stylish Chevrolet that captures the spirit of the late 1960s while remaining practical enough to enjoy on today's roads. Number 8. This 1971 Chevrolet Impala Custom presents an interesting opportunity for someone looking to own a full-size American classic without stepping into six-figure territory. Rather than being a fully restored show car, this Impala is best described as a solid running and driving project that already has a good mechanical foundation and plenty of potential for its next owner. Finished in white with a black interior, the car carries the bold styling that defined Chevrolet's full-size lineup during the early 1970s. Long body lines, a wide stance, and generous chrome trim give the Impala the commanding road presence these cars have always been known for. Sitting on a set of classic Craigar wheels, it has a period-correct muscle car look that complements its vintage character. Under the hood is Chevrolet's dependable 350 cubic inch V8, paired with a turbo-hydromatic 350 automatic transmission. That combination has earned a reputation for reliability, ease of maintenance, and excellent parts availability, making it one of the most practical drivetrains for anyone wanting to enjoy a classic without dealing with rare or difficult-to-source components. According to the seller, the car starts, runs, and drives well, giving the next owner a vehicle that can be enjoyed immediately while improvements are made over time. One feature that adds value is the collection of original documentation that comes with the car. Original paperwork is becoming increasingly difficult to find on vehicles of this age, and it can provide valuable insight into the car's history while making it more appealing to future collectors. Mechanically, many of the essential systems remain functional. The speedometer, fuel gauge, oil pressure gauge, temperature gauge, windshield wipers, headlights, brake lights, turn signals, horn, windows, and radio are all reported to be working properly. An aftermarket tachometer has also been installed, giving the driver better engine monitoring without significantly changing the car's classic appearance. As with many honest project cars, there are a few areas that will require attention. The factory air conditioning is currently inoperative because the compressor belt is missing, while the emergency brake pedal is seized and will need repair before being fully functional. The tires still have usable tread, but the seller notes that they are old and show signs of dry rot, meaning a replacement should be considered before putting significant miles on the car. The rear seat belts are also absent, something that may matter depending on how the next owner intends to use the vehicle. Overall, the seller is very transparent about the Impala's current condition, and that's something I always appreciate. Rather than claiming perfection, the listing clearly explains both the strengths and the shortcomings, allowing buyers to understand exactly what they're considering. In my opinion, this is the type of classic that makes a lot of sense for someone who enjoys improving a car over time instead of paying top dollar for a fully restored example. The dependable 350 V8, TH350 automatic transmission, clean title, original documentation, and running condition provide an excellent starting point. Most of the remaining issues appear to be maintenance items rather than major structural problems, making the project feel manageable instead of overwhelming. At an asking price of $17,995, this 1971 Chevrolet Impala Custom seems fairly positioned within today's classic car market. Considering that it runs and drives, includes desirable original documentation, and still retains its iconic full-size Chevrolet styling, it offers a solid entry point into vintage American motoring. For buyers willing to invest a little time and effort, this Impala has the potential to become an outstanding cruiser while preserving the charm that has made these early 70s Chevrolets increasingly appreciated by enthusiasts. Number 9. The 1971 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. The 1971 Chevrolet Chevelle SS represents one of the final chapters of the original muscle car era, and it remains one of the most respected American performance cars ever produced. With its aggressive styling, long hood, and unmistakable presence, the Chevelle SS has become a favorite among collectors who appreciate both classic design and big block performance. Even today, a well-equipped 1971 SS continues to command attention wherever it appears. Finished in an elegant gold exterior with a brown bucket seat interior, this Chevelle has a period-correct color combination that reflects the styling trends of the early 1970s. While many muscle cars are finished in brighter colors, this combination gives the car a more refined look without sacrificing its commanding road presence. The factory-style cowl induction hood adds an unmistakable performance touch and hints at the power hidden underneath. That power comes from a legendary 454 cubic-inch Chevrolet Big Block V8, paired with the equally respected Turbo 400 automatic transmission. According to the seller, the engine has been built to LS7 specifications and is equipped with GM Snowflake cylinder heads and an LS7-style intake manifold. While it isn't claimed to be a factory LS7 engine, these upgrades suggest the car was built to deliver significantly stronger performance than a standard 454. In my opinion, it's an excellent balance between preserving the spirit of the original Chevelle SS while providing even more excitement behind the wheel. The performance drivetrain continues with a heavy-duty 12-bolt positraction rear axle, helping transfer the big block's power efficiently to the pavement. At the same time, the car retains its drivability thanks to power steering and power brakes, making it much easier to enjoy during regular cruising or longer road trips. Comfort and convenience are another highlight of this Chevelle. The seller lists power windows, power door locks, power seats, a power trunk release, rear window defroster, and factory-style bumper guards. Those options were considered premium equipment during the early 1970s and add to the car's overall desirability. It's not often that a muscle car combines serious performance with this level of luxury equipment. Another interesting detail is that the original emissions equipment is reportedly still installed. For collectors who appreciate originality, retaining factory smog components is becoming increasingly uncommon, especially on modified big block cars. The seller also emphasizes that the car is clean and rust-free, which is always a major advantage when evaluating any classic vehicle. Personally, what impresses me most is how complete this Chevelle appears to be. It isn't simply a powerful engine installed in an average car. Instead, it combines a high-performance big block, desirable factory options, and what appears to be a very solid body into one well-rounded package. That's exactly the type of combination many collectors search for. Overall, I think this 1971 Chevrolet Chevelle SS is an outstanding example of a classic American muscle car that successfully blends performance, comfort, and collector appeal. With its LS7 Spec 454 engine, turbo 400 transmission, positraction rear end, numerous factory options, and rust-free condition, it offers an impressive ownership experience. At an asking price of $63,500, I believe it represents a strong opportunity for anyone looking to own a serious big block Chevelle that's ready to drive, enjoy, and proudly display. Number 10. This 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass. The 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass is one of those classic American cars that often flies under the radar, yet it offers an outstanding blend of style, comfort, and V8 performance. While Chevelles and GTOs usually grab most of the attention, the Cutlass has quietly earned a loyal following among enthusiasts who appreciate its clean design and refined driving manners. This example, located in Thomasville, North Carolina, is listed for $19,000 and appears to be an honest, driver-quality classic that's ready to be enjoyed. Finished in bright red with a contrasting black interior, this Cutlass has a timeless muscle-era appearance. The black vinyl roof adds an extra touch of elegance, giving the car the upscale look that Oldsmobile was known for during the late 1960s. Rather than focusing solely on performance, the Cutlass was designed to combine sporty styling with everyday comfort, and this example still reflects that philosophy. Power comes from a V8 engine paired with an automatic transmission, making it an easy and relaxed cruiser whether you're driving through town or heading out on a weekend road trip. Although the seller doesn't specify the engine displacement, the combination of V8 power and automatic transmission has long been a favorite for owners looking for dependable performance without sacrificing comfort. This Cutlass is also equipped with several desirable factory-style features, including power steering and power brakes, both of which make driving a vintage car much more enjoyable in modern traffic. Inside, the black leather bucket seats are complemented by a center console and a floor-mounted shifter, creating a sporty cabin that feels more like a personal luxury coupe than an ordinary mid-size car. An aftermarket air conditioning system has also been installed, although the seller mentions that it isn't currently working. While that may require some attention, the fact that the system is already in place could make future repairs easier than installing an entirely new setup from scratch. One detail I appreciate is the seller's honesty regarding the mileage. Although the odometer currently shows just under 40,000 miles, they openly state that the actual mileage is likely closer to 139,000. That kind of transparency is refreshing because it gives buyers a more realistic understanding of the car instead of making questionable low-mileage claims. Honest sellers often inspire more confidence than those who avoid discussing details altogether. At $19,000, this Cutlass sits in a price range that's often more accessible than comparable muscle cars from the same era. It offers many of the same classic styling cues and V8 driving experience without the premium prices attached to some of its more famous competitors. In my opinion, this is the kind of classic that's easy to appreciate. It isn't advertised as a fully restored show car or an ultra-rare collector's piece. Instead, it comes across as a solid, enjoyable driver that still retains plenty of original character while offering the comfort features that make vintage cruising so enjoyable. For many enthusiasts, that's exactly the type of classic worth owning. Overall, this 1967 Oldsmobile Cutlass appears to be a stylish and honest American classic with attractive options, dependable V8 power, and timeless late 60s design. With a little attention to the air conditioning, it has the potential to become an even more enjoyable cruiser that's equally at home at local car shows or on long weekend drives. Number 11. The 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle. In my opinion, this 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle is an interesting opportunity for someone who values performance over perfection. It isn't a freshly restored showpiece with flawless paint and mirror-like body panels. Instead, it's the kind of classic muscle car that appears to have been built for driving, and sometimes that's exactly what makes a car like this so appealing. Finished in blue with a black interior, this Chevelle still carries the aggressive styling that helped make the 1969 model one of the most recognizable muscle cars ever built. The long hood, muscular body lines, and wide stance continue to look just as impressive today as they did more than 5 decades ago. The biggest attraction here is what's under the hood. According to the seller, the car is powered by a big block Chevrolet V8 that runs strong and is paired with an automatic transmission that shifts smoothly. While the listing doesn't specify the engine's displacement, having a healthy big block under the hood is enough to get the attention of most muscle car enthusiasts. These engines are known for their massive torque and unmistakable exhaust sound, making every drive feel like a special occasion. Another feature that really caught my attention is the factory power windows. That's not an option you find on every Chevelle, and even better, the seller says they still operate properly. The car also includes several desirable components such as a 12-bolt rear axle, factory front disc brakes, SS-style interior, factory big block front springs, and the original plastic inner fender wells. Those details suggest this Chevelle has many of the ingredients enthusiasts typically look for when shopping for a late 1960s muscle car. Of course, the seller is very honest about the car's cosmetic condition, and I actually appreciate that. The paint was applied back in the 1980s, and the rear quarter panels are described as wavy. Rather than trying to hide those imperfections, the seller puts everything on the table, allowing potential buyers to know exactly what they would be getting. Personally, I think that level of transparency builds confidence. From my perspective, this is the type of classic that you can buy, drive, and enjoy immediately while deciding later whether you want to restore the body or simply leave it as a reliable driver. Not every collector wants a trailer queen that's too valuable to enjoy on the road. Many enthusiasts would rather own a car they can take to weekend cruise-ins without worrying about every tiny rock chip. At an asking price of $38,000, I think this 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle offers a compelling package. The combination of a strong-running big block engine, desirable factory features, and honest overall condition makes it an attractive option for buyers who prioritize the driving experience over flawless cosmetics. If I were looking for a genuine big block Chevelle that could be enjoyed right away and improved over time, this would definitely be one I'd want to inspect in person before making a final decision. Number 12. The 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle Super Sport. In my opinion, this 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle Super Sport represents exactly what many collectors hope to find when shopping for a first-generation SS. It combines authenticity, tasteful restoration, and factory-correct performance into a package that's equally at home on the show field or out on the highway. Rather than relying on modern engine swaps or extreme modifications, this Chevelle stays remarkably faithful to its original heritage, and I think that's one of its greatest strengths. Located in Elmer, New Jersey, this real 138 code Super Sport is listed for $78,900 and is described as being in excellent condition with a clean history. The odometer shows just under 78,000 miles, and according to the seller, the car has undergone a frame-off, show-quality restoration. Personally, I believe a properly executed frame-off restoration is one of the best indicators that no shortcuts were taken, because every component of the vehicle is carefully restored while the body is separated from the chassis. Under the hood is the original numbers matching 396 cubic inch V8 rated at 325 horsepower, identified by the desirable EDH engine prefix and equipped with the factory Holley carburetor option. In my opinion, having the original matching engine significantly increases both the collectability and long-term value of a classic muscle car. It's exactly the kind of detail serious enthusiasts pay close attention to. Backing the big block is a 4-speed manual transmission, allowing the driver to experience the raw mechanical feel that helped make the Chevelle SS one of the icons of the muscle car era. Power is delivered through a positive-traction rear axle fitted with 3.73 gears, providing strong acceleration while still being well-suited for spirited street driving. Personally, I think this drivetrain combination offers one of the best balances between performance and everyday usability. The exterior is finished in elegant chateau slate silver, complemented by a black vinyl roof that gives the car a sophisticated yet aggressive appearance. Instead of oversized aftermarket wheels, this Chevelle rides on steel wheels fitted with chrome dog dish hubcaps and classic redline Coker tires. I really like that choice because it preserves the authentic factory look and reminds you exactly how these cars appeared when they first rolled off the assembly line. Inside, the cabin continues that original theme with Astro bucket seats, a center console, and the famous knee-knocker tachometer mounted beneath the dashboard. That tachometer has become one of the signature features of mid-1960s Chevelle Super Sports, and in my opinion, it adds both nostalgia and authenticity to the driving experience. The car is also equipped with power steering, making it noticeably easier to drive than many classic muscle cars of the period. A heavy-duty radiator helps improve cooling performance, while the retro-style radio maintains the vintage appearance without sacrificing modern convenience. What impresses me most about this Chevelle is that it doesn't try to reinvent itself. Instead of becoming a restomod, it celebrates Chevrolet's original engineering while benefiting from an exceptionally high-quality restoration. That's something I believe many collectors appreciate because originality never goes out of style. Overall, this 1966 Chevrolet Chevelle Super Sport appears to be an investment-grade classic featuring its numbers-matching 396 big block, 4-speed manual transmission, posi-traction rear axle, beautifully restored factory-style interior, and a meticulous frame-off restoration. In my opinion, it's an outstanding opportunity for anyone seeking a genuine first-generation Chevelle SS that offers authentic muscle car performance, timeless styling, and the kind of collector appeal that continues to make these cars some of the most desirable American classics ever built. Number 13. This 1967 Chevrolet Impala is a beautiful example of how a well-preserved full-size American classic can offer both timeless styling and modern usability. Combining elegant late 60s design with tasteful upgrades and a strong mechanical package, this Impala appears ready to be enjoyed immediately, whether on weekend cruises, local car shows, or long highway drives. Finished in a stunning deep cherry metallic, the exterior is one of the car's biggest highlights. According to the seller, the paint was professionally applied using 5 coats of color followed by multiple layers of clear coat, creating a deep, glossy finish that enhances the Impala's long, sculpted body lines. The rich burgundy color gives the car a more refined appearance than many traditional muscle car colors while still attracting plenty of attention wherever it goes. Under the hood sits Chevrolet's respected 327 cubic inch V8 producing 300 horsepower. The 327 has long been regarded as one of Chevrolet's finest small block engines thanks to its balance of smooth operation, responsive performance, and proven reliability. It's paired with an automatic transmission, making this Impala an easy and comfortable classic to drive whether you're cruising through town or covering long distances on the interstate. The seller also notes that the car has been upgraded with power front disc brakes, providing a noticeable improvement in stopping performance over the factory drum brake setup. It's a practical enhancement that increases confidence behind the wheel while preserving the overall character of the vehicle. Comfort is another strong point. This Impala retains its factory air conditioning, a feature that's becoming increasingly desirable in classic cars, especially for owners who plan to drive them regularly. The interior has reportedly been refreshed and is described as being in like-new condition, featuring black bench seats that maintain the car's original full-size cruiser personality. To make the driving experience even more enjoyable, the factory-style radio has been updated with Bluetooth capability, allowing modern music streaming without sacrificing the vintage appearance of the dashboard. One thoughtful detail is that the original hood is included with the sale. While the listing doesn't specify whether a different hood is currently installed, having the factory component included gives future owners additional flexibility and adds value for anyone interested in preserving originality. Perhaps the most reassuring statement from the seller is that everything on the car is reported to be in working order. That's an important claim because electrical accessories, climate control systems, and small mechanical components can often become troublesome on classics of this age. A fully functional vintage car is usually far more enjoyable than one that constantly requires attention. In my opinion, this 1967 Impala strikes an excellent balance between originality and tasteful modernization. It keeps the elegant appearance that made Chevrolet's full-size cars so popular during the late 1960s while incorporating practical upgrades like front disc brakes and Bluetooth audio that make it easier to enjoy in today's world. The professionally finished paint, dependable 327 V8, factory air conditioning, and clean presentation all suggest that this is a car built to be driven rather than simply admired from a distance. At an asking price of $36,500, this 1967 Chevrolet Impala appears to offer strong value considering its condition, equipment, and overall presentation. A high-quality paint job alone can represent a significant investment, and when combined with the desirable 327 engine, factory air conditioning, upgraded brakes, and well-maintained interior, it becomes easy to understand why this car stands out. For anyone searching for a classic full-size Chevrolet that's both comfortable and eye-catching, this Impala deserves serious consideration. Number 14. The 1968 Dodge Coronet 500. The 1968 Dodge Coronet 500 is a classic Mopar that perfectly represents the bold styling and strong performance of the late 1960s. Sharing its platform with some of Dodge's most legendary muscle cars, the Coronet 500 offers a combination of sleek body lines, comfortable cruising, and plenty of potential for enthusiasts who appreciate vintage American automobiles. While high-performance R/T models often steal the spotlight, a clean Coronet 500 like this has developed a loyal following of its own. This particular example is finished in bright red with a black interior, a timeless color combination that highlights the car's muscular body lines and chrome trim. According to the seller, The car has received newer base coat and clear coat paint while remaining in its original factory color. The finish gives the car a fresh appearance while still respecting its original heritage, making it look right at home at weekend cruise nights or local classic car shows. Under the hood is a freshly rebuilt 318 cubic inch V8 fitted with a 4-barrel carburetor. Although the 318 isn't the largest engine Mopar offered during this era, it has earned an excellent reputation for durability, smooth performance, and dependable street manners. The addition of the 4-barrel setup should provide improved throttle response and stronger performance compared to the original configuration. Paired with an automatic transmission, the drivetrain is designed for relaxed cruising while still delivering the unmistakable sound and feel of a classic Mopar V8. Another welcome feature is power steering, making the Coronet much easier to maneuver than many vintage muscle cars equipped with manual steering. Whether navigating city streets or enjoying long highway drives, this option adds a level of comfort that many collectors appreciate. One detail that stands out in the listing is the car's history. According to the seller, it has been off the road since 1997. Despite spending many years in storage, the underside is described as solid, which is encouraging for a vehicle of this age. Rust is often one of the biggest concerns when shopping for late 1960s Mopars, so hearing that the structure remains solid is certainly a positive sign. The seller also describes the car as being driver quality, meaning it isn't presented as a concours-level show car but rather as a classic that can be driven and enjoyed. Personally, I actually find that very appealing. Some of the most enjoyable classics are those that owners aren't afraid to take on weekend road trips or local cruises instead of keeping them hidden away in a garage. What I like most about this Coronet is its balance. It doesn't rely on an oversized engine or extreme modifications to make an impression. Instead, it offers a solid body, a freshly rebuilt V8, attractive factory colors, and the kind of honest presentation that many enthusiasts appreciate. It feels like a car that's meant to be experienced behind the wheel rather than simply admired from a distance. Overall, I think this 1968 Dodge Coronet 500 is an excellent opportunity for anyone looking to own a well-preserved piece of Mopar history. With its rebuilt 318 V8, automatic transmission, power steering, newer paint, and reportedly solid underbody, it appears ready to provide many enjoyable miles. At an asking price of $41,500 or best offer, it offers classic styling, dependable performance, and the timeless character that continues to make late 1960s Dodge muscle cars so desirable. Number 15. This 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle. The 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle represents the final year of one of the most celebrated generations of Chevrolet's mid-size muscle car, making it a favorite among collectors and enthusiasts alike. While high-performance SS models often command premium prices, standard Chevelles have become increasingly desirable because they offer the same iconic styling at a much more attainable cost. This particular example, located in South Boston, Virginia, is listed for $19,500 and appears to be an honest, well-documented classic that's ready for its next owner. One of the biggest highlights of this car is its originality. According to the seller, it's a numbers-matching example, retaining both its original 350 cubic inch V8 engine and matching transmission. For many collectors, that's an important feature because it helps preserve the car's authenticity and long-term value. Even though this isn't an SS model, having its original drivetrain intact is something that's becoming harder to find more than 5 decades after these cars left the factory. Another feature that makes this Chevelle stand out is the amount of documentation included with the sale. The seller has the original build sheet, the Protect O-Plate warranty identification, and the original owner's manual, along with previous service records. Documentation like this helps tell the story of a classic car and provides future owners with valuable historical information that many surviving vehicles no longer have. The seller also notes that this Chevelle was originally purchased new from Thompson Chevrolet in Danville, Virginia, giving the car a traceable history from its earliest days. Those kinds of details may not improve performance, but they certainly add character and make ownership feel a little more special. Mechanically, the car is said to run well, suggesting it's ready to be driven and enjoyed rather than immediately torn apart for repairs. It was originally equipped with factory air conditioning, although the AC system is currently disconnected. Depending on the condition of the remaining components, reconnecting and servicing the system could be a worthwhile project for the next owner who wants additional comfort during summer cruises. To give the car a fresher appearance and improved road manners, it has already been fitted with a new set of wheels and tires. It's a simple upgrade, but one that enhances both the look and everyday usability without taking away from the Chevelle's classic personality. One thing I appreciate is the seller's straightforward presentation. They clearly state that this is not an SS, avoiding any attempt to market it as something it isn't. That level of honesty is always encouraging when shopping for classic cars, especially in today's market where tribute models and clones are common. In my opinion, this Chevelle offers excellent value for someone who wants an authentic early 1970s Chevrolet without paying the premium often associated with SS models. The matching drivetrain, impressive documentation, and solid running condition make it far more appealing than many project cars in the same price range. It looks like a classic that can be enjoyed immediately while still leaving room for future improvements if the next owner chooses. Overall, this 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle appears to be a well-preserved and honestly represented American classic. With its numbers matching 350 V8, original documentation, factory heritage, and driver-friendly condition, it offers a combination of authenticity and affordability that's becoming increasingly difficult to find in today's classic car market.